we doing, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Guys and girls, sorry. A little presumptuous of me. I'm just recording this video again because I've actually just done it, but I realised that I was going through my Bluetooth audio, so I think the sound quality is a bit forked. But as you can tell, I'm sitting in my car, driving back from a job I've been on for the last couple of days over on the eastern side of the country, around Ipswich. And I'm just finishing off a bowl of Bob's Chocolate Flake in the trusty Peterson 303? 302? Never, always get them muddled up. Can't remember which one's which. The smaller one anyway. And Bob's Chocolate Flake, what a backy. Lovely stuff. I've been meaning to do this video for a couple of weeks. Or at least a week or so. I had a message from a friend of mine on Facebook, a mutual friend of ours, on Facebook a week or so back. We were talking about, life, the universe and everything, depression. We were talking about depression, mostly. What Churchill called the black dog, and that chemical imbalance caused by strange goings on in the limbic system that manifests itself as depression in many of us. And he said something to me which I first of all found very, very touching, and secondly also I couldn't help but laugh at because he said, I've really always admired you for being seeming like you've got your shit together. And my reaction was, don't believe it for a minute, man. What I see, what you guys see on YouTube, and what we portray to the outside world when we choose to slap on that mask and play the role of somebody who's got their shit together is what we want other people to see. We groom that, we nurture that, but it's by no means a reflection of our day-to-day reality, and I think that's true in my experience of most people. But it was a very touching, very thought-provoking sentiment nonetheless, and it got me thinking about something else which I've been mulling over the last couple of days. So I'm on my way back from doing an audit on a very prestigious client, shall we say. A huge amount of money, business which has got a huge amount of money and a huge amount of prestige in its particular industry. And it's something that has occurred to me a number of points throughout my life, and the more I live and the more I experience, the more I'm reminded of it. And that is that everybody is just winging it. In my life, I have worked with some of the most humble, impoverished people, from parts of the world which have just got no development at all. People working with nothing in the way of resources. And I've worked and been around and had dinner at the table of extremely powerful people, who hold significant rank in society, and I use that term rather glibly. And in my experience, along that scale, that sliding scale of society, of what we call the human race, everybody is winging it. In my experience, everybody's winging it. Now the inclination for many of us, especially when we're younger, I think it happens a lot less the older you get, when you grow a bit more cynical, but the inclination is to look up to and admire, perhaps even emulate people. This ties back in with what I was saying in my last video about how about this sort of made-up crisis of masculinity, this sort of male crisis, identity crisis that we seem to be collectively going through at the moment. So it's a very similar thing. Male role models at the moment just seem to be all wrong. When we look at social media and the media in general, and the kind of people that young men are trying to emulate, it's all wrong and it's all fucked up. And I guarantee you that every single one of those people that young men are trying to emulate, in exactly the same way as the people that I was trying to emulate when I was younger, and so on. None of those people have got their shit together. They haven't. So, I've been meaning on doing this video for a while. So it ties in with the depression thing, because I think there's an element when you suffer from depression, when one suffers from depression, one can tend to be very self-critical, and the yardstick by which you measure yourself, or even the people that you look to and think, oh God, that person's really got it together, why can't I be like that, it's all fictitious, it's all fake. For a start, you don't live in that person's skin, so whoever you're emulating, you're not occupying that person's skin or their psyche, so you don't even have the information required in order to be able to make a judgment on whether one should or should not be emulating, that person. People are very, very good at hiding what's going on with them. Well, we do it all the time. As a sufferer I say sufferer, I'm not going to use that term actually, that's the wrong word entirely, but as somebody who's diagnosed as autistic, one of my traits, an autistic trait, a very common autistic trait, is what we call masking. And over my 47, going on 48 years of existence on this planet, I have become exceptionally good at masking. I've become very good at it. And that's not something to be admired because it's a coping mechanism. It's a strategy by which I am able, which enables me to interact with the world around me, whilst all the while inside, there's a constant chattering mind, and there's turmoil over any number of things, which to most people would be absolutely minor, really incredible things, and it could just be like a noise that's annoying me, or something like that. But in society, we kind of have to sort of slap on this face, and in order to be able to gel and work together, and and not sort of lose our shit when we're around other people, you have to put on a mask. You do this thing that we call masking. Depressive people do exactly the same thing. We're very, very good at making it seem outwardly to the world around us that we've got our shit together, when all the time, sometimes, perhaps we're falling to bits inside. So that's that's one of the points I wanted to make, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. But I suppose it's some advice that I would give my younger self would be to not try hard, to stop trying hard, and certainly don't think for a minute that anyone that you're emulating for any reason, or that you're admiring and respecting for any reason, is really more sorted out and has got their stuff more sorted out than you have, because you never know the struggles that people are going through. You can't make that judgment. I still now, I occasionally come across people in life who I think, wow, geez, I wish I could be like that. Classic case in point, my cousin's boyfriend, only a young guy, well, early 30s I guess they are now, something like that. Incredibly talented musician. Not just good, talented musician, but kind of makes you sick to your back teeth good musician. He can look at an instrument he's never touched before, pick it up, and in 10 minutes time he's pretty much mastered it. I remember sitting in an old fisherman's pub in a little North Devon village, a very picturesque chocolate box kind of North Devon village, watching him doing dueling banjos, having just picked up this banjo, playing with this guy who'd been playing in the band up until a few minutes earlier. And then he proceeded to make, with all the beer glasses on our table, to put together this really complex little sculpture, which was beautifully balanced. And just one thing wrong and it would have tipped the whole thing over, and all of the glasses would have smashed to bits. Incredibly talented guy, really lovely guy as well. And I remember thinking, Jesus, I wish I could be like that. But then I think, no, actually, no, people are what they are. Be happy with what you are, because you're never going to be that other person, and you've absolutely no reason to be. So, sure, look at somebody, if they've got a few attributes that you admire, by all means take a few pointers, but don't try and do things the way that somebody else does it, because you're definitely pissing against the wind there. Anyway, this video is rambling on a little bit longer than I wanted to, really. I wanted to just make those 2 points. First of all, if you, like me and like many others, suffer from the black dog, and sometimes maybe you feel a little down on yourself, don't. Because every single person around you is going through a similar thing, that I can pretty much guarantee you. And on the subject of winging it, take some heart in that, because it doesn't matter how well people seem to be doing for themselves, how high up in society they are, what wealth they may have accumulated or whatever else. I guarantee you those people are fucking winging it. They are winging it, and they've just gotten lucky, and that's all there is to it. Hitting traffic now. So yeah, I'm going to go and concentrate on the road. You guys take good care, I'll hopefully catch up with you again in the not too distant future. Lots of love to you all you guys out there, guys and girls. Thanks for watching, and peace.